Button. Sue, are you in the house? Would you like to step up onto the stage? She is at the stage. Let's go ahead and add Sue. Bravo! She is in a wonderful place amongst her friends and books. That's a good place to be. Well, welcome, Sue. I'm going to check myself out and let you take the stage. Thank you for being a part of the family hour.
Hello, everybody. I'm Miss Sue, and this is Chicken. Chicken is my wonderful friend that was gifted me by Bill Thompson, and the children decided that your name should be what? Sunshine. That's right. Yeah, because you bring sunshine, and she loves to do our sugar eggs. Yeah, yeah. But right now, what? You're a little nervous? Really? Do you feel kind of like this fish? Do you feel like this fish? Oh, yeah. Sometimes I feel nervous too. It's okay. Yeah. When you feel this way, chicken, you know what? Then you just take a deep breath like this. And you say, sometimes we just have to be brave. Yeah, just like that. I know, because look at that little fish in a great big ocean that sometimes is kind of dark. And we might have to be brave. And you can be brave. We'll be together. This is a wonderful book about how we're feeling. And it's called Happy. Happy. And it's by Mies van Hout, who's a wonderful Dutch author and illustrator. And we're happy here today at the library. And we are eager, I know, to share Owl Moon with you. What? You want to do the signs? Okay, I'm going to put you down because you're not an owl. No, you're a chicken. I know, yeah. And you want to look like an owl and you want them to see how to do it. All right. This is how we do our song that goes with this book, Owl Moon. This is a book about being brave. Mhm. And it is written by the wonderful Jane Yolen. And it's published by Philomel Books. You can always tell who the publisher is right here. Philomel. Philomel Books. And without the publishing company, we don't have books. It's the books. Author sends in the text, and who illustrated? John Shaner illustrated these. It's beautiful. Wait till you see these pictures. But then they sent it to the publishing company of Philomel Books, and they decided that it was good enough to publish. This is Owl Moon, a story about winter and a dad and a child and a full moon, and they go out owling. They go out together to see an owl, and something happens. I don't know if they do or not. We have to read the story. But there are a few things. Let's warm up. Can you do that? You're going to warm your hands like this. One more time. This is how you make heat. And this is part of our story. You got to make your own heat when you go owling. Yeah. And you have to be brave. Can you do that? This is brave. So you have to be brave. You got to make your own heat. And you have to be quiet. If you're going to see an owl, can you make circles around your eyes like that and be an owl? And so we've done owl. And here's moon. Kind of looks like a moon, doesn't it? And you put your hand like that, and then you go like that, and that's moon. Yeah, and shining, owl, moon. All right, you have to be quiet, and you have to make your own heat. If you're going to go owling, you have to be brave. And the last thing you need, if you're going to go find an owl under a full moon in the winter, is you have to have hope. And here's hope. Isn't that neat? Like you're gonna be be a bird with hope and wings. Ready? Let's do that. Hope. So you have to have hope. All right, let's do it. And we have to be quiet. And we'll sing the song at the end. And we'll use those signs. There's an owl. Here we go. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime. Look down there. When Pa and I went owling, there was no wind. The trees stood still like giant statues. And the moon was so bright, the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew. Long and low and kind of a sad, sad song. It's not daytime. It looks like it is, but it's not. It's moonlit winter night. This is a moon shadow. And there's the dad and the child. They're going to go owling. I could hear that train through the woolen cap that Pa had pulled down over my ears. A dog answered the train. And then a second dog joined in. Ow! And they sang out, trains and dogs, for a real long time. And when their voices faded away, it was quiet as a dream. And we walked on towards the woods, Pa and I. Are they alone? I see someone else, some other creature. They're watching. This creature is watching Pa and the little girl walk out on the quiet moonlit night to find an owl. Our feet crunched in the crisp snow, and little gray footprints followed us. Pa made a long shadow, but mine was short and kind of round. I had to run after him every now and then to keep up, and my short, round shadow bumped after me. But I never called out. Because if you go owling, you have to be quiet. That's what Pa says. I had been waiting to go owling with Pa for a very long time. Oh, we reached the line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was and waited, and he looked up as if searching for the stars, as if reading a map up there. The moon made his face into a silver mask, and then he called, the sound of a great horned owl. Can you try that? Ready? She's being very quiet. Yeah, good job, good job. We walked on. I could feel the cold, as if someone's icy hand was palmed down on my back, and my nose and the tops of my cheeks felt cold and hot at the same time. But I never said a word. Nope. If you go owling, you have to be quiet. And you have to make your own heat. Good job. And then we came to a clearing. Here's the clearing. In the dark woods, and the moon was high above us. It seemed to fit exactly over the center of the clearing, and the snow below it was whiter than milk in a cereal bowl. Wow, it's beautiful. I sighed, and Pa held his hand up again. At the sound, shh, I think he's telling her to be quiet, don't sigh. I put my mittens over the scarf over my mouth, and I listened hard. And then Pa did it again. Ready? And I listened and I looked so hard. My ears hurt and my eyes got cloudy with the cold. Pa raised his face to call out again, but before he could open his mouth, an echo came threading its way through the trees. Pa almost smiled. Then he called back, just as if he and the owl were talking about supper, or about the woods, or the moon, or the cold. Oh, I took my mitten off the scarf, off my mouth, and I almost smiled too, because the owl had just answered Pa's call. The owl call came closer, from high up in the trees on the edge of the meadow. Oh, look, they're way down here. Nothing in the meadow moved, but then all of a sudden, there was an owl shadow. Part of the big tree shadow lifted off and flew right over us. We watched silently, with heat in our mouths, the heat of all those words we had not spoken. And the shadow hooted again. Oh, and Pa turned his big flashlight and caught the owl just as it was landing on a branch. There it is. What a gorgeous, look at its talons and its big wings, and it's gonna land right on that branch. Oh, look at her eyes. For 1 minute, 3 minutes, maybe even 100 minutes, we stared at one another. Such a beautiful animal, an owl. And then the owl pumped its great wings and lifted off the branch like a shadow without a sound. It flew back into the forest, and Pa said, "Time to go home." I knew then I could talk, but I was a shadow. I could even laugh out loud, but I was a shadow, and I was quiet as we walked home. I think she was in awe of the beauty that she had just seen and heard. When you go owling, you don't need words or warm or anything but hope. The kind, that's what Pa says, the kind of hope that flies on silent wings under a shining owl moon. Owl Moon by Jane Yolen, illustrated by John Schoenherr, and published by Philomel Books. Thank you for that. She was courageous. Okay, you ready? Here comes the song. Now this is called Owl Moon, and it's sung by Lisa Bialis. Now you have to remember our lyrics. We're going to do our signs with our lyrics. We're doing one is owl. Remember owl? And then we're doing moon. Yep. And then we're doing shining. Yep. And then we're going to do brave. And make your own heat. And finally, hope. Okay, here we go. You gotta be quiet under a shining moon. Oh, you got to be quiet under a shining moon. Oh, you got to be quiet. Yes, you got to be quiet under a shining, under a shining, under a shining moon. You gotta make your own key under a shining moon. You gotta make your own key under a shining moon. You gotta make your own key. You got to be quiet under a shining, under a shining, under a shining moon. Oh, you got to be brave under a shining moon. Oh, you got to be brave under a shining moon. Oh, you got to be brave, gotta make your own heat, and you got to be quiet under a shining, under a shining, under a shining moon. Oh, you got to have hope under a shining moon. Oh, you got to have hope under a shining moon. Oh, you got to have hope, and you got to be brave, gotta make your own need, and you got to be quiet. Oh, you got to have hope under a shining, under a shining, under shining arms. So beautiful. I know. Makes me very happy to hear such beautiful sound and to read such a beautiful book about being brave and having hope. And I know, chicken, I know you want this other book. Okay, I know, but what's it called? Step, Stomp, Stride? You're right. Yeah. Okay, well, let's show everybody. Step, Stomp, Stride. Who is that? Is she brave? Yeah, very, very brave. What's her name? Truth? Sojourner Truth. This is a book about Sojourner Truth. Is it a good one? Okay, who wrote it? Andrea Davis Pinkney. I love her. And Brian Pinkney. See that way down there? He did the illustrations. Brian Pinkney's a wonderful artist, and Andrea Pinkney is a wonderful wordsmith. And together, they write books for children and illustrate them. Okay, ready? Okay, you sit right here, and I'm going to read Step, Stomp, Stride. Sojourner Truths. Step, Stomp, Stride. Wow, look at this. She was amazing. Step, stomp, stride. Look at step, stomp, stride. You can do that too at home. You can do step, stomp, stride. That's what that means, stride. First you step, then you stomp, and then you stride. And that's what Sojourner Truth did. A lot. She took a lot of steps, and she stomped hard, stood for what she believed in, and she strode forward. Sojourner Truth was very, very brave. And this is her story by Andrea and Brian Pinkney. But we don't have a book, remember? There's no book if you don't have a publishing company who says, wow, those pictures are beautiful. Also called illustrations. And that story is magnificent. We're going to take them both and put them in a book and publish them and sell them to libraries. And that's what they did. And who's they? Disney. Disney Jump at the Sun books. I'm not kidding. Look, Sydney Jump at the Sun books. Now that is quite a publishing company. I like it. And this looks almost like the sun, doesn't it? Sojourner Truths. Step, stomp, stride. She was big. She was black. She was beautiful. Yeah. Her name was Sojourner. Sojourner Truth. Truth be told, she was meant for great things, meant for speaking, meant for preaching, meant for teaching the truth about freedom. Big, black, beautiful. That was Sojourner. Sojourner was born a slave. Her master called her Isabella. Sojourner's mother, Mau Mau Bet, and her father, James Baumfree, took one look at their child and decided to call her Belle. Seems her newborn's cry was ringing in good news. Nothing quiet about that girl. She hollered from the get-go. Belle grew quickly. She She was almost 6 feet tall while still a child, and along with her size 12 feet, she had hands like hams, lots of muscle in her bones too, and no one dared pick a bone with Belle. No, she could plow, hoist, and haul better than any child her age. With her big-soled shoes, she could stomp the beetles that tried to eat her master's corn. Oh, no, you don't. You're not going to eat that crop. Well, Belle's strength and her size made her valuable. And this is a very hard thing to talk about. But this is a slave owner. Like sometimes we own our houses, or like I own my glasses. I paid for them. I paid for my clothes. But this man lived in a time when you could own people. It was very awful. They did not have freedom. And he decided to make money off of selling her, even though it meant she had to go away from her mother and father. And that happened a lot, and it was awful. And he wanted money. And so she was valuable because she was so strong and big. And so the master sold her away from her parents when she was 9 years old. And then she got sold 2 more times after that. This was the ugly way of slavery. Belle hated being treated as property. I'm not a piece of property like a cart. I'm a girl. I'm a human being with dreams. She hated shucking and boiling and hauling and working all day for her master, John Dumont. Well, John Dumont knew how strong and capable Belle was, and he said, I promise to free you if you work extra hard for me. And so she did. Belle wanted her freedom more than anything, so she stepped to it. She worked hard for many years. She polished the brass until it gleamed. She mucked his horse. Right here, here's the brass that she polished, and she mucked his horse. That means she cleaned all the stalls, and she churned the family butter twice as fast. She was amazing. Sojourner Truth. And finally, Belle went to John Dumont, ready to be freed. But John did not honor his promise. Nope. He said, no, I've decided not to let you be free. You're too good. You do too much work for me. I want you to work here. And that's when Belle decided to run away. I would too. I would decide to run away. You have to be brave. And so in search of freedom, Belle ran. She fled like tomorrow wasn't ever going to come. She covered some ground, child. She got gone. And she refused to stop until she saw hope. Belle ran right up to Hope's front door. She came to this farm, and it was owned by this Quaker couple, Isaac and Maria. And the Quakers were abolitionists, this Van Wagener family. Abolitionists believed in freedom for all people. Abolitionists believed that it was wrong to own people like property. And so Isaac and Maria Van Wagener offered Belle shelter. They said, yes, come in. You can stay here. When Belle's master, John Dumont, caught up with her, Isaac offered to buy Belle's services. It wasn't Belle's work that Isaac Van Wagener wanted. He wanted her freedom. And this was his way of getting it for her. Belle's master said, okay, give me your money. And he took the money from Isaac van Wagner. And then he got gone. And right then, Isaac turned around to Belle and said, I would like to give you your freedom. You are free. And she was. She didn't have to run anymore. But she said, thank you very much when she was ready. And she set out on her own to follow her dreams. There she is. She went to New York City, where she could be truly free. And oh, that freedom was so sweet. Freedom made Belle want to take the heels of her size 12s and kick them up high and dance and dance. Belle celebrated her freedom by marching her feet straight to a job. And she worked as a maid who made money for her work. No more master, no more cotton to bale, no more beetles to stomp or corn to shuck. And Belle soon learned that to celebrate freedom, she had to speak her beliefs. For her, freedom meant helping others. Freedom meant putting her foot down for what she knew was right. Freedom meant she would travel up and down the land to share her ideas. And that's when Belle changed her name. She gave her slave name the Boot. No more of that, she said. I'm going to call myself Truth, Sojourner Truth. And she did. And she was a traveler, and she told it like it was. She couldn't read or write, but she could sure speak her mind. And that's what she did no matter where she went. She met and talked about not being slaves. And in 1851, Sojourner stopped to a women's rights convention in a church in Akron, Ohio. There was no rain on the day of that convention. Oh, there was thunder, though, because who was stomping, striding in? Sojourner. And she listened, and she said, shouldn't women have the same rights as men? Shouldn't all people be free? And she went in there and she told it like it was. She said, I am strong. Ain't I a woman? And then, bam, an iron fist smashed down on that pulpit. Bam, bam, look at me. I have plowed. My hands are strong. I have gathered into barns. No man could head me. And ain't I a woman? Bam. And now Sojourner was ready to preach her beliefs. I am a woman, and I am strong and free, and I am as good as a man. And that was the truth. Sojourner had spoken the honest to goodness. She was ready to step and stomp and stride, and off she walked. Big, black, beautiful. That was Sojourner. Step, Stomp, Stride, Sojourner Truth, by the wonderful Andrea and Brian Pinkney. And I think I'm out of time. Do I have time for one more song, or are we done?
You know what, Sue? We do have a little bit more time because our Zoom around the world is just 15 minutes today. So if you would like to have a song, we would love to hear a song.
Oh my goodness. I have this wonderful girlfriend in Chicago where I used to live before I came here, and her name is Laura. Yeah. And Laura Doherty did this incredible song called Heartbeat. And, you know, this is Women's History Month. And this festival that we're talking about is called the Fierce, Zero to Fierce, right? Zero to Fierce. And I wear this. My girlfriend made it for me. Not Laura. My girlfriend Laura is a musician. And she's the one who wrote this next song that we're going to sing. My other girlfriend made me this. And both Laura and my girlfriend who made me this helped me be strong and brave. Because sometimes I get frightened. And sometimes I get tired. Do you ever get tired? And it's important to rest. But the most important thing is to be healthy and strong and to stride for what you think is right. And that's what this song is about, keeping your heartbeat going. Yeah. Are you ready? Now, if you have your drums, you go ahead and pull them out. This is my drum. It's from Alexandria, Egypt. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is called Heartbeat by Laura Doherty. You can feel your heart beating, thump, thump, thump. You can feel your heart beating, thump, thump. You can feel your heart beating, thump, thump, thump. That's when your heart beats like a drum. And it goes thump, thump, thump. Feel your heartbeat when jump, jump, jump. You can feel your heartbeat when jump, jump, jump. You can feel your heartbeat when jump, jump, jump. That's when your heart beats like a drum. And it goes thump, thump, thump. When you love someone, your heart beats like a drum. When you love someone, you're gonna see the sun shining. You can feel your heartbeat when dance, dance, dance. You can feel your heartbeat when dance, dance, dance. You can feel your heartbeat when dance, dance, dance. That's when your heart beats like a drum. It goes thump, thump, thump. Swim? Your heart can swim, swim, swim. You can feel your heartbeat when swim, swim, swim. You can feel your heartbeat when swim, swim, swim. That's when your heart beats like a drum. And it goes thump, thump, thump. When you love someone, yeah, your heart beats like a drum. When you love someone, you're gonna see the sun shining. You can feel your heart beating, thump, thump, thump. You can feel your heart beating, thump, thump, thump. You can feel your heart beating, thump, thump, thump. You can feel your heart beating, thump, thump, thump. There you go. That is Heartbeat. And that is from Laura Doherty. And her group is called the Heartbeats. And she sings at the Old Town School of Folk Music in the great city of Chicago. Do we have time for one more song by my California friend Hat Palmer or no?
Well, we might have to jump to because we have something happening right at
Cool.
3, so we have to start our Zoom around the world
This
in a
has been
minute.
so much fun.
But it's so sad to cut you off because it's so fun having you here. Thank you, Sue.
I
Thank you
have a great
so much.
time.
Thanks for being part of it here and part of making little people become fierce in the future and fantastic. And it's really lovely books that you shared with us and all your friends that are there with you at the Arcata Library. And can you just throw out there when your story time is there for
Yes,
the Arcata?
yes, I know. Sunshine is upset that we did not do shaker eggs, but we will do the shaker egg tomorrow at 11, and I know, and Saturday at 11, and Friday at 11. So Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays at 11. And if you want to join Sunshine and me, just call the library, the Arcata Library. The number's 822-5954. 822. I'll put it in the chat. 5954. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.